So today I only got one slide, and that has the most powerful question, I believe. And I would like to begin it with this question. We'll ask ourselves, who am I? The question is meant for us to look beyond our names, our parents' names, and who we are ethnically. So whether you're native, white, black, green, blue, orange, wherever you may be, ask yourself that question. So today I'm going to be talking about the importance of cultural identity. The subject comes up sometimes as Native American only discussions, which in fact is not the case at all. We all come from rich cultural backgrounds, and we can never fully know where we are going if we do not know where we come from. Over the past few years, I've taken upon myself during some travels to learn as much as possible about other cultures and ethnicities, to understand their perspectives, morals, principles, and virtues. Also to share knowledge with hopes of preserving both of our rich cultural identities while enforcing the idea and movement that we as Indigenous people are still here, strong and resilient. So with this project, I am hoping to spark the imagination and interest of you all with some facts that come in the following presentation. We're going to look at some dark areas of cultural identity first. As previously stated, we first must know where we come from to know where it is that we are heading in our existence. So from the Native American aspect, we have the residential schools in North America. From the very beginning, some of us may get some dark feelings from that. This first article I came across is Non-Indigenous Canadians and Americans' Moral Expectations of Indigenous Peoples in Light of the Negative Impacts of the Indian Residential Schools. Beginning in the late 1800s, the Canadian government officially established the IRS's Indian Residential School System in partnership with the churches as an explicit strategy to assimilate Indigenous peoples into the dominant Euro-Christian culture. Children were forcibly removed from their home communities to attend the IRS. Of the over 150,000 children who attended, a known 4,090 would never return home alive, although it is believed that that number is significantly higher, and often families were never informed of what happened to their child. So yes, very dark indeed. You can see the negative feelings every time the subject is brought up. Our very existence was at stake because of our cultural identity. Many of our relatives never came home. Another very big weapon used to strip away our identity, and before I touch on this one is kind of gets me emotional because my grandfather stood up to a governor in South Dakota known as Bill Janko. When it came to blood quantum, he threw him out of our tribal building, grabbed him by the loop of his pants and threw him out. So, and that is the tribal blood quantum, which is required by all tribes to enroll new members. Native Americans require a pedigree that states exactly how much tribal blood you possess. So let me simplify this a little more for all of you. Horses, livestock, dogs, and natives are the only ones in the world that would require a pedigree to tell us exactly who we are. I've always had this discussion with my family, especially my children. If we can't be native, who are we? We can't be white, we can't be brown, we can't be black, who are we? So if we can't do this, then we as natives, our bloodline will stop with me because my children are not enough to be enrolled. Moving forward, the remedy for this issue is proven time and time again. In order to discover who we are and strengthen our identity, we must come together as a people. Also, on an individual level, we must find our voice. We are strong and resilient. Each breath we take is a victory against an attempt at genocide. Our voices are strong, which brings me to my next article, the significance of Cultural Center and Text in Shaping Native American Students' Cultural Identity, which discussed a group of Native students that were brought together in an after-school program to discuss some of the issues at hand in our book reading. At the conclusion of this article, the commonality of the issues in the book and the students' issues in reality with the Native American mascot being used after school, the students wrote about the text they had read related to their personal issues and found their individual voices. They use that to stand together in union against some of the issues they faced in everyday lives. Cultural identity can be revived through linking language, land connections, recounting historical events, both negative and positive, to reinforce strength in identity. Which in the following article, Holistic Beliefs of Education for Indigenous Language Revitalization and Reclamation, explains research conducted to prove the benefits of language revitalization at home, community, and school levels that provides a better well-being for individuals as they understand intergenerational trauma. They also understand sovereignty and self-determination, which is strengthening their communities as a whole. So in closing, I would like to say that our generation right here and now is in dire times, because this is the generation that will reclaim our identity or lose everything we have. So now, for the question, who am I can only answer this for myself. I am Ihunktuan Akota. I walked the land of my grandfathers. I lived because of the prayers of my ancestors, and will give my life for the future generations still coming. So to you all, I say, you are strong, you are resilient, you are the link between the past and the future. You are all of great importance, no matter what race you come from. Your ancestors prayed for you, and the future generations are depending on you. That is who you are. Continue to walk in beauty in everything that